personified wickedness.
Jake tapping in the Esau blessing. Jake want the whole Esau soul until there we go trust in we God. You know?
Yeah.
Like when you're supposed to be trusting in these words. Because it's a spiritual being. Tap into your true power, your true nature.
I was saying that earlier, I think earlier today, talking to myself, that understand really and truly our power is the understanding that scripture that weapon. They come like you know, some of them animations whereby the cases somebody will have a so-called mystic weapon, whereby the cases somebody will use it and it will reject them or come out their hand or whether they be able to use it. But as the true owner come, just like we talk, come out. What? Master.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 16. It says, wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes. Cease to do evil, learn to do well.
Guys were separating it from the side. The wicked deeds. You know, you taught not from flesh. You understand? So Lord say wash you. You understand? Use this word and cleanse your will. You understand? See how to move on in the straight and around. Well,
It says, learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless.
and that's when the world don't have. The world don't have judgment. Everything, especially with Israel stuff. Love. Everything is love. I can't remember what is our Jamaican reggae artist saying. Everybody asking for love. Pray for judgment. You understand? Tatosh.
There was a statement our police gave me already saying was the judge. I said, you shouldn't say that. That's a hypocritical statement. Listen, you will understand what the word judge means. You judging every day. What are you talking about?
Judge, even something to
Yeah.
I give you some of that.
You can't remember the afro?
You want that take an implanter?
Thanks to the brother there. Introduce me to a liquid that he said.
What's your name?
I remember that little boy. On Facebook, yes.
I want.
What's the name of that? I see about, I tell like,
Like so I say,
yeah. I said, so let's stick on there.
Yeah, it's stick on.
I know you have to go shut that thing, man.
Hey, because if you check how Israel always was, Israel always wanted to do after the nations. When the Lord gave back to them because they wanted a king, because they saw the nations having kings, so they wanted that king to rule over them too. They want to go and worship the other nations' gods. But you never see the nations trying to do what Israel doing. Even until this day, the mass majority are Chinese is with Buddhism. You might see one or two in Christianity. Mass majority of Indians in Hinduism. You might see one or two in Islam. A few here and there in Christianity. But the mass majority of them in their ancestral religion. But Israel, they're all over. The scripture says they go from mountain to hill.
Like Kamala said, she said somewhat she understand and
She
say,
said, my name, I get my name from my sister, she get from my slave master. But
But she ain't wrong. She ain't lying.
no, she ain't wrong. And I said to myself, I said, look, Kamala right now, she's showing you that the place done gone. It cannot. She trying to win votes again because
I seen that coming out, Charlotte, she did.
you understand? She trying to win votes because you don't see something like that and then expect to win election.
And next election,
You understand? So you don't know it ain't gonna have that.
there's something
And you see what going on with Negroes is they don't like to hear the truth, right?
Like you.
But I hear what I say it's a good thing. She say that too. Because when you tell them that, they don't believe you. So then the other nations tell them. When the other nations tell them, you know, they yeah, embarrassing in a kind of way. And then you will understand it has no such thing as how it go. Every creed and race kind of then you won't understand. She just show you that the national anthem is a hypocrisy. You understand? It's a hypocritical statement. Everything that you find that he got says, no, you is a slave. And that is why I always say, the best slave is one who does not know he's a slave. You are not equal with these people. Look, I'm not just come and show on you that. She tell on you in her face. And she tried to make it look nice, but really and truly, she's speaking the truth.
Yeah, but you have no more election and she has that same brother. But the same thought, I come in on Charlotte Street and say, but why do you make a statement
Like that, yeah.
If you're going out for an election,
and you did it already, that's why you lost the first time by doing them thing, and you come back and do it again. And you know these people, the emotional already, as you say. People going off with it.
They will say emotions, but really and truly, if you look how election is always about race. And that is how it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to elect a strange nation to rule over you. You think the Indians gonna come and vote for a rowdy? Them don't want me to rule over them. And it's the same thing, but Jake's so fucked up in their mind that you know that they hate their own flesh. They hate their own flesh.
I was scrolling through some article on the news, and the bull with the hat, you know, it went like a robot bull now. I don't know if anybody see it. Gosh, I can't remember the name of the state right now in America where the bull is. The horns and things, the bull wants a robot bull, a new modified bull. Like, yeah, because it's a new world order. And that's the technology of the world right now.
because next year, CEO is supposed to go total metaverse. That's supposed to be total metaverse. You understand?
It's Sirach chapter 13 and verses. Sirach chapter 13 and verses 15. Every beast loveth his life, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorted according to kind, and a man will cleave to his life. What fellowship had the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the godly? What agreement is there between the hyena and the dog, and what peace between the rich and the poor?
Lord said he gave every nation on their own back, their own blessing. Separate the nation.
Crocodiles and camels.
He himself, the Bible said that the Lord separated the nations. He never made everything equal. You can check the Bible. If you would check the scriptures, right? There's no way the scriptures is all about joining everybody together. If the Tower of Babel came, he separated people. In the beginning, he separated the people. Came again, he separated some from another. It's you people in Christianity trying to join everybody together.
Two lands with enemy and to fight to the death and one they escape. If one of them bunks up on a swarm of hyena, the next one assassin him.
Yeah. And I saw that already.
No, these Christians,
Hands down.
Christians, right? They claim they're following somebody and looking for an antichrist.
Hey,
But really actually use the
you guys can't take it with the fucking black people in this world. I don't say black people could always call themselves. They will categorize everything on earth. Cats, it are all kind of different species. Dog, it are all kind of different species. They will name out all for you. All kind of ants, all kind of birds, but one human race. And everybody looking different, so everybody different. You know, he divided the ways.
That's some cats actually. Some spotted, some black, but it's the same. The black panda. Some of them that actually has spots until I said that some of them that be.
They don't be black. Black is like a recessive gene, if you want to put it like that. Like the jaguar.
Right.
The jaguar might get one that come out black. Not black panther is not a species.
You're right.
And the funny thing with them, the dogs, they don't want to mix dogs, they want a pure breed. But you mix it,
But you have dog and the way they have it is even a pure breed.
Yeah, sir.
It's mixed to get a particular breed.
Okay.
And it's not pure.
See that one?
Deuteronomy 32 and 8, it says, when the Most High divided the nations,
what?
divided the nations,
Divided the nations. He never made everything equal. Well,
their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
the sons of Adam was brought up in the Israelites.
So you notice we do? He gave them inheritance according to the number of Israel.
Okay.
So he makes sure Israel set good and then give them gifts. That's like what Abraham did. Make sure Isaac good and then give the rest of them gifts.
Okay.
Going on, it says, for the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob is the lot of his inheritance.
Not everybody, not in the scriptures, nowhere. All human beings got it. Not there anywhere, can't find it. And I find the best color, and you will not find it.
Just a backup.
Yeah, it's a favorite, everything. Just like we out here, we have a favorite. We have a favorite pants. We have a favorite shoe.
You have precept down there, eh?
Well,
The second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 54.
yeah, man.
It says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord over all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And the people who was chosen, the Lord has a chosen people. Well,
All this I have spoken before thee, O Lord Yahweh Shai, because thou hast made the world for our sake.
for who? For whose sake? Jacob. Go ahead.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam,
All of them come from Adam. Go ahead.
thou hast said that they are nothing,
And let me see how much of nothing there is. Go ahead.
but be unto spittle.
They like spit. If it's you would care about it. No, you must care about it. Go ahead.
And has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
These heathens and them, these people who not on that side. It's okay. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 40. Isaiah chapter 40 and verses 15. It says, behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance.
You're not going to care if I drop from a bucket fall from a bucket. You don't care about that. And go on.
Dust of the balance. Take a dust and you put it on a scale. You think I'm move the scale, like you don't put nothing there. Now you see, at the dust of a balance, this is 15, right? As the small dust of the balance, behold, he taketh of the isles as a very little thing. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. So if you talk about Lebanon, it's not sufficient to burn. So no matter these nations, no matter amount of sacrifice they could do, and right offerings they could give to be worth something to the Most High.
We know what said about the commandments. He said, this is your wisdom and your knowledge. He said, this is life. This show you the ways that you will live. So why think the nations the way to live too? Because you don't care about them.
That's right.
The scripture says you are not dealt so with the other nations. So you don't care if they live or die. You don't care if they live or die.
Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob.
Now we went to the Lord said, let the remnant of them perish that were born in vain. In a sand bread.
And will yet choose Israel.
Still choose Israel. He ain't gonna change. He ain't gonna change and say, you know what? Well, these people send to me too much. I forget them. Now we'll go back to their brother Esau. We're gonna eat Edomites now. Or we're gonna Chinese. Go ahead.
And set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
You say I should not understand that they are settled in safety, something like that. And if anybody familiar with that precept, right? broke up safety.
Nah.
Nah.
It said the strangers will cleave unto them. Read in Sirach 13, where it says, every man loveth his neighbor, and a man will cleave unto his like. So these strangers that cleaving unto the house of Jacob, they have Jacob also. They have the same kind. They have Jacob's like, as Apostle Paul spoke about in Romans the 9th chapter, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the covenants. He mentioned in the verse of his kinsmen, according to the flesh. Those of the same kind. The Israelites. That's who the joining is for, the union. That's why in Ephesians the 2nd chapter it talks about the Yahushua when he came, he abolished in his flesh the enmity. The enmity between whom? The ones that knew they were Israelites at that time to the ones that were now coming in. Because the enmity was the laws. The laws was the enmity. So the ones that would have known they were Israelites and grew up keeping the laws would have classed the rest as uncircumcised. We have scripture talking about the uncircumcision or the Gentiles. You understand? That's the Israelites that were Gentilic, alright, by their lifestyle or their manner of living, being aliens to the Commonwealth.
Because in the laws, the law saying that if you don't do such and such, you shall be cut off from him. If you don't do this and that soul shall be cut off from his human. If you venture into that way of life, the law, according to the law, you're cut off. And that is what them Jews back in the day were holding on to, them cut off. They can't come back here. Because some of guys are healing.
But like what you say about Ephraim may join the idols, let him alone. Stay away from, refrain from them. Separate yourself.
Hey, what about you would understand Hosea 1? You understand? I will not have mercy upon you. You are not a people. You understand? And they would not take that to heart. But they would not take to heart. Lord, long when he say, Lord, this in verse 10 or verse 11. You understand?
The place where they said to you, you are not my people.
No,
They shall be said you are. And in Deuteronomy 32, where you say you don't move them to jealousy with a no people. So them same Israelites who became a no people due to their manner of lifestyle, I just got to say they became estranged from him to idols, to idolatry. Like the same ones who the Lord is going to bring back into the fold and cause that great envy or that enmity that took place mainly at the time of the apostles with Jews who believed and the ones that was now coming in.
He will have what I think it's compassion upon people. I think it's Hosea 11 when Israel was a child and loved him.
It's Hosea 1 and 11. It says, then the children of Judah and the children of Israel, then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. So they're going to come together. So they forgot about Israel and Judah coming together. They just say, you know what, you forsook the Lord. And partially I would have blamed that on the Pharisees. I think that the Pharisees might have a key point into enforcing them staying away from the other tribes.
Same thing, because Yahushua cut them the same what he spent on the Pharisees, because they fought at a meeting and it's but they forget to take that they have no mercy and these judgmental truth, these sections don't have should have teach. But the Pharisees were supposed to go into the law and teach them precept shall keep knowledge. They turn many away from the but they wasn't doing that. They wasn't doing that.
Now when Lord keeps saying, what man having 100 sheep and one flea and not go after the hunting, they go after them. That's why you see the widows and the fatherless, basically you go after them. Exactly. You understand? Right now, why they was crying unto the Lord because of Benjamin. He said Israel had this, they left without a tribe. You understand?
I think it's in the 6:6 because they have not grieved for the children of Joseph. They have not grieved for the children of Joseph.
There are 14 here.
There are
says verse 2, Isaiah 40:2 says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. They shall take them captives, whose captives they were. They shall rule over their oppressors. So in the kingdom of heaven, slavery will exist. That's right. In a big way. Very big way.
Big farmers, these are commodity.
Who are slaves. Matter of fact, our Lord, Yahweh Shai, he's going to be the biggest slave master in the kingdom of heaven. If you understand.
Anybody got Bill Gates?
Just as how the slave masters, they order for Willie Lynch to come over and give them school counsel, school them on how to keep the slave. Yeah? Now Shai go around and give them counsel and tips on how to do that.
And Louis Lynch method, they say, even after there will be actually that system working without you even on the plantation.
Up to this day,
Hundreds of years after.
up to this day, that Willie Lynch system, you see it.
Yeah.
Where do you have these women and them going on? Willie Lynch system.
So you know in the kingdom, a system will be working
Just to
good in
prove that they have slavery in the kingdom. It's Joel chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, the people far off. For Yahweh Shemel has spoken it. Not just a prophet, not just a random man, the Lord has spoken it. When you go say, well, who said that? Who said that? You understand? The Lord said it.
Same way these Africans sold us to Esau. In the same way, we're going to have people selling them to Judah.
And in the scripture say, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
Yeah.
How they go escape slavery, and that was the made to the victors.
And 1 year, there's Revelation chapter 2.
Yes, patient and faith. He says patiently waiting for that.
God.
Waiting for that.
That's right.
What did he do? Yeah.
Ask for me, you understand? And I will give you the heathens. Or we give you the heathens. We're going to do the heathens when he give you. Man, just bring you man. I got both of them.
That'll work.
There's Revelation chapter 2 and verses 26 to 27. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall.
Ice cream and cake every day.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even
as Christian brother. And you have to hear Christians, they don't see star maze, you know. They don't see star maze. You see Mark 13, I think it's verse 32, when the scripture says, no man know the hour, not even the sun. I literally, a Christian literally say, the Lord forgets when the time was, you know, as he's going. So he make himself forget when the time coming, you know. So you know what he did? He take his thoughts and put it on a paper plane and send it over on the galaxy and come back from 1,000 to 3,000 years. He go hit him and, yeah boy, I don't remember, hey, time to go boy out.
Take his Matthew when the sons of Zebedee asked who was right, and I left. He said, this is not mine to give. That's right. You understand? Will thou at this day give return the kingdom to Israel? He said, only that this is father keeping the
That's a TikTok Christian. The fucking press your phone up.
Yeah.
That one so-called elite, he teaching that Mystery Babylon is not America. Mystery Babylon is Jerusalem. How you come up with that, man? Yo, you just want to after this, we're pulling on the best way.
That's what you remember when you spent for fucking that and I can't buy it back like as fast as.
She come up with that, boy. If you're a scriptures, you come up with that. If you're a shit. I just stand up with them in the room and let them.
The next one will say to the government on the shoulders is something else you'll see. There's a next scripture was on Isaiah. Isaiah 9.
This one by I stop talking now. When I see here, later. I don't want to talk to people.
I have a precept here. There's Isaiah chapter 9 and verses. I start at verse 6. It says, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called the Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace."
He's the everlasting Father. They're using the everlasting Father to say he is. No, he's the everlasting Father to the elect. That's all.
In the scripture say, I write unto you fathers. So even the elect are fathers. They're also going to be everlasting fathers.
The scripture says the Prince of Peace. So if he's the Prince of Peace, he's the King of Peace.
How is that Prince? How is that? King and
A king and a prince.
king and a prince.
Like when Yahweh asks him, how is he his son? Also, like if he call him Lord, then how is he his son? That will bug them out. They ain't gonna understand how at the same time he is calling him the prince and also the king. They ain't gonna understand that.
They understand the parts and pieces at the point of listen. History. Cast off the history, but they're trying to understand the mystery.
Verse 7 it says, "Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end."
You build a house and trying to hang the roof out walls and trying to figure out how to hang the roof now. You understand? You want a house built, but you start with the roof and then trying to figure out how to hang the roof. And when a man telling you how to hang the roof, nah, what foundation you talking about? You can't start with no foundation.
I watch a video where a man, he house get $1 million house he built by the seaside. You see that video? And you see come on. No, it's on the land, but close to the sea, like it's almost on the sand. And you weather come and take it and cry it in the water.
Continuing, it says, "Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment." They said it upon the throne of David. When you think about how David ruled, David had heathens on them. Edomites. When you read in what is that? 2 Samuel, the 8th chapter, 2 Samuel 8, and verses 13. "And David got him a name when he returned from smiting of the Syrians in the valley of Salt, being 18,000 men. And he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom put he garrisons, and all they of Edom became David's servants. And the Lord preserved David whithersoever he went." To the kingdom to come. They're like it to be basically the throne of David. The house of David is the kingdom to come. That's who's going to be the ruling class. The house of David, spearheaded by our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So going back in the Isaiah 9 and verses 7, it says, "Upon the throne of David, who ruled over heathen nations, he ruled over Edomites." We read earlier in the 2 Samuel 22, He said, what thou hast made me to be the head of the heathen. A people that I know not shall serve me. As soon as they hear of me, they shall be obedient. And that is a part of the blessing. But it says in Deuteronomy 28 verse 10, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 10.
You know what they were telling him? He said, yeah, Lord told David to go and make war with the nations. But you remember, he told him he can't build the house because he had too much blood. So despite the Lord tell David go and make war, that is now the Lord wants, you want peace. So you can't go and make war, you make peace. Because that is what the Lord really wants. You are just testing David to see if David will really just make peace. That's why the Lord saying Jeremiah 4:10, the Lord has greatly deceived Israel, saying thou shalt have a short peace, whereas the sword draweth to the throat, to the neck. You understand? That's not going on with Israel. Lord just mama guy them telling me they're gonna have peace and destruction coming. That's right. Can't have no destruction coming. But Jake out here, them preparing for right now they're preparing for Christmas, you know. They're preparing for Christmas. Carnival 2023.
Yeah.
Restrictions done. You understand?
You better get these dumb niggas again. Don't pop up here again. I'm telling you, Lord, I have to come and kill these people, boy.
They don't see the Syrian hand behind him. They just see this black ball head hammer in front of the face on the camera, but they don't see the Syrian hand in the back telling them what to do.
Okay. So now, all around the world they're going for gas prices, right? Now Trinidad had their own oil company, their own gas company. They shut it down. Then to see what they did, they take away gas subsidy. So basically, you have to put it full brunt. It's not to put you in the same position. All you see the trend. All you have to wait until the credits come up to understand what the movie was talking about. Just the name of the movie is supposed to tell you what to expect.
But some people, when you do it, somehow they just calculate it and make sense.
That's why the scripture said, my people is foolish. You don't understand it. Yeah?
Simple believe every word.
When them are tongue meeting, them still are followers. Them and the followers are get put in it. Because what? Them not paying for theirs. That is in their allowances. So everything them issuing to the people and not to themselves.
I never vote in my life, but guess what?
Ain't paying for nothing.
I never vote in my life, but if I was to vote, right? I would know who to vote for because guess what? When UNC was in power, when UNC was in power, I was driving a Hilux. I fucking love the car my Hilux, fucking drive off and gone. This country, people real fucking
There was Stephen and Sharon. There was Stephen and Sharon.
It was different, but we was getting real thing, but was eaten. That's simple enough. And that people coming out and showing them that look, I was living when no mind she little racist, she really
She done the
like
two
all of
races,
them,
she plenty racist.
plenty racist, but I was eaten.
But all of them is puppet thing with them. At the end of the day, they're doing the mandate of the elites. Because if you want them in power, they don't have to bow down to the elites, they bow down the same way. That's why we always have
I remember
the separation.
years ago. Years ago. It was like 2013. I got a dream that Kamala, Rowley, well, no, it wasn't Rowley at that time, it was Manning. Kamala, Manning. All the heads are stayed throughout all the Caribbean in a room rejoicing. That's how the dream was. All of them in a room together rejoicing.
All of them have to bow to the mandate of the elites. And one of the things that the elites do, they always cause division, divide and rule. So they said what? Even among Jake, you will live center, right? So among in the classes, what you have Democrats, Republicans, the Plebeians, the Patricians, you have the Indians against the Negroes.
clear, I mean, and see, it's a spiritual thing because that division gonna be there, right? They're not gonna have any young up and coming to replace. They ain't gonna no Jack Warner, they ain't gonna no fucking wing name from Tobago. They gonna have none of them things. Or even if they do have them, because what wing name Watson Duke. Before he was initiated, he was against the Max, the job. And then he when he see, then he was initiated and then he was pro. Yeah.
I was like greatest two-tongue I ever seen in my life.
Right. Because he was initiated.
Yeah.
He have to bowl. The man swim from Tobago to Trinidad.
He never swim. He never swim.
We expect the man will do anything to make it.
You know, say, we against that, we against that. You come in and you quiet.
Let us ship it, gimmick, eh? Because at the end of the day, we don't have a bridge to Tobago. What was the purpose of the gimmick? We didn't get a bridge from Trinidad to Tobago.
If the only two leaders in Israel is the apostles, come on, that's the leader. If anything, you dumb people in this country should come here and listen to what they have to do. But you don't do that because the Lord blind on you. But if you want true leadership, as Rowley like to say, good governance.
Amen.
This is real true governance. That's right. This is where good governance is true leadership.
It's Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 13. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is standing up to plead and standing to judge the people. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people and the princes thereof. For ye have eaten up the vineyard. The spoil of the poor is in your houses. What mean ye that ye beat my people to pieces and to grind the faces of the poor, said Yahweh Hashem Yahushua of hosts.
Hey, like this whole system that you live in. See them wicked, as I was now saying. You dumb niggas, so let us vote for Rowley. But all you don't see the Syrian hand in the back to make all you under all this oppression.
You see this call of courts in your house, all them benefits they get is to keep them controlled. And as sad you get benefits, so you go in Russia, you go send nothing. You pay for gas, you pay for traveling, you pay for food. Are they getting paid?
Just a few. Let's give them a little.
Where the money come? The money come from something, coming from people's hearts, you know, Sunday sweat from them.
Plus the guy I raised some years ago. So all of them in league.
Average citizen paid is between 3,000 to 10 monthly. Prime Minister was almost 60. $48,000 a month. Plus benefits.
The opposition leader, they have a high salary too.
Very high salary.
I think she won real high.
Opposition, but guess what? But guys, why you think Jeremiah say, Lord, let me reason with you? He says, wherefore does the way of the wicked prosper? Understand? But the Lord say in 1 Peter 4, he said, you know how to reserve the wicked until the day of judgment. You know to reserve them. Understand? You know how to reserve them. You know to set them up and put them in high places. So take them down.
After be brought down,
Scripture says, sit down in the dust.
Triumphing on the wickedest for a short time.
He just catching the tail every day. And these damn devils living the high life.
This little one, he named called Edward.
Demon.
Him's birth.
Yes, I watch Ernest Scared Stupid. Ernest Scared Stupid.
Imagine the 80s after.
Yeah, you're too young for that. Troll, like how you looking? Like you troll from Ernest Scared Stupid. I tell you, hey,
Ernest P. Wood.
Yeah.
Nah, people.
Ernest P. Wood. That was his name.
Is it him?
Ernest P. Wood, yes. Nah, no, he's P. Riho, man. But Ernest P. Wood is Ernest.
Scripture says, surely wisdom.
And Ernest might have been a Jake.
Oppression maketh a wise man mad. Oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift does destroy the heart.
Let's keep on doing, man.
Say what?
A gift does destroy the heart.
Isaiah 1:23. Thy princes are rebellious and companions of thieves. Everyone loveth gifts and followeth after reward. They judge not the fatherless, neither doth the cause of the widow come unto them.
His companions are thieves. And they love gifts. Bribe them. Down to the police in this country. They for bribe. Everything for bribe. It's just a big racket pool we living in here.
Non-righteous.
A big cesspool.
Non-righteous.
So most I had to destroy it. Because everything, once you flash these paper dollars, you could bribe a politician, you could bribe the leader of the country,
Judge.
a judge,
Commissioner of police.
you understand? Coast Guard. Look the other day they say that a ship going into Tobago and some Coast Guard give up drugs. Drugs coming from Coast Guard boat to get some Tobago.
And
They
the
come off
SIU.
the boat.
And the SIU, you want the SIU?
Yeah.
SIU, boat, catch them.
Yeah, they get catch. You see the funny? Them supposed to be the men in authority to make sure nothing comes. So because when these drugs come, where you going? Then it ending up in fucking Westmore and all these prestige areas where these Edomites, these local Edomites.
Right there, then, you know.
I think they don't get time, eh?
Yeah.
It's not. Where do you think this short young daughter?
But my guy in this majority they go retrain. And you can see these breakers. You destroy them.
By one of them.
Yeah.
Aftermath.
The aftermath. We're going to end up where we people is to destroy us. You understand? And this is how they constantly beating the organization. This is why Christianity has not the answer for our problem.
James 5:1, go to know you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Shall come upon you, they're gonna be the miseries. That's right. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be witness against you. It says, and what do we mean by the rust of them? Because they're just storing it up. You're not storing it up. You understand? You just get rich. You actually have the audacity to come on TV and say, the rich, you have to give the rich the opportunity to get richer, to provide opportunity for the poor. So basically you're telling me, continue to catch the ass and just eat scrub.
His eyes is privilege set against the poor.
It's in privilege no more.
Yeah. It says, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. You understand? They heap up treasure, but guess what? The scriptures say, we heap up garment, just shall put it on. And shall be spoiled. That is in Job 27.
There's no phoenix rising out of the ashes.
Rise out of the ash and just better again. Most High coming to destroy. Yahweh Basham Yahushai is coming to destroy your setup because you constantly you build an empire. And I mean it's the same thing we going on do you when we build the empire. We going on have you under constant oppression, so this is your time. You have your time, you're doing what you have to do. But see the thing is, you're not supposed to touch me. That is the problem. The scripture says in Jeremiah 2 and 3, Israel was holding something to the Lord. All that touch him shall offend. Because you have an empire, you set it up, it's the rule over your subjects. You became your subjects. But you're not supposed to entreat us the way you did. The scripture says forward the affliction. They went above and beyond when they touched Israel. And that is the offense. That is why the Lord is coming back to destroy them.
Jeremiah 50 and 24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken to Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. And we strive against the Lord by touching Israel. Understand? By touching Israel. That was a snare. Remember when Judith said, fire and worms? Anybody that come against my kindred?
Touch Israel and get away. Nobody ever did it and was successful and ruled forever. That is a trap.
They get here about it. They come like either set out Israel out in the open to as a bait. When you grab that bait, so you fall down in that deep hole.
It's a trap. Since when Nebuchadnezzar said that, you're going to send Israel in captivity for 70 years, and after 70 years, when I judge that nation, it's a trap.
In Acts chapter 7 and verses 7, I'll start at verses 6. It says, and Paul spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage, and entreat them evil 400 years. And the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge, saith Yahweh, and after that shall they come forth and serve me in this place.
So when it happened in Egypt, Pharaoh took us, he treated us evil, maybe taskmasters, alright? Put so much of burdens on me that we wouldn't be able to multiply in a big way. Which is what's going on right now also. All these abortion clinics everywhere in the States, even down there. Eugenics program, all of that. I go back into the same plan Pharaohs and them had back then. To not let me multiply in a big way, right? But what happened to Pharaoh after? Did Pharaoh establish his kingdom forever on the face of the earth? Is Pharaoh's kingdom of Egypt back then, is it still standing today? Hell no. It is destroyed. That's right. It is in ruins right now. It is a monument for tourists to go and say, hey, and take pictures and say this is where the old Egypt was and this is what it did and all of that. But our kingdom is the only kingdom promised to rule forever. It says it shall stand forever.
Psalms 136 and starting at verses 10, it says, to him that smote the Egyptian, to him that smote Egypt in their firstborn, for his mercy endured forever, and brought out Israel from among them, for his mercy endured forever. With his strong hand and with his stretched out arm, for his mercy endured forever. To him which divided the Red Sea into parts, for his mercy endured forever, and made Israel to pass through the midst of it, for his mercy endured forever, but overthrew Pharaoh and his host in the Red Sea, for his mercy endureth forever.
Pharaoh had a rulership for a time and then it was destroyed. Nebuchadnezzar, the Medes and the Persians, Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar beginning to come all the way down to Domitian, right? And Edom today, all of them had all the time and it collapsed. This is the last hurrah.
That's right.
This is the last hurrah.
In the book of Genesis, chapter 6, I read from verse 12. It says, and Yahweh shall look upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, and all flesh was corrupted, had corrupted his way upon earth. And Yahweh power said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. If I may say, most I say the end of all flesh is come before it. Now, it's the same thing what happened back then going and happen now. The place so corrupted and vile, it has no other solution but to just destroy them. It has no other solution but to just destroy this place.
That's right.
Because everybody feel their own
unbalanced opinion matters. They have what, 7 point something billion people on earth. Everybody's opinion cannot matter. The Most High set for judges. At any point in time on the face of the earth, that men set up rulers who was able to judge. Nowadays, everybody feel all their opinion comes. That's why the Most High say, you know, wipe out all each and every last one of them, excepting them who repent. That's what we're outside here to do. Let people know if you don't repent, you're going to perish basically.
That's right.
Because the Most High fed up at this place. The type of fuckery, I can't say it no other way. The type of fuckery happening on the face of the Son, the Heavenly Father, when I come and destroy it just now. Can't go on no longer.
Nehemiah 1 verse 9. What do you imagine against your Abba Hashem Shai? He will make an utter end. You understand? So how do you imagine against the Lord? They're thinking that they will continuously have us in this position, continuously corrupting the earth and doing their own ways. They say, what you imagine against the Lord? He says, what he will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time.
Affliction will not rise up ever again, because according to Psalms 92 verse 6 and 7, it says here, a brutish man knoweth not, neither doeth a fool. Psalms 92 verse 5. Oh Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep.
Yeah, you understand? And that is what the scripture says in Psalm 73. When I enter into the house of the Lord, then I understood his end. So then you will understand why the Lord keeps sending Israel into slavery. You understand? Then they will say, oh, the Lord will set up their nations, but also simultaneously punishing Israel for their sins. You understand? That is what's going on. You understand? It's a 2 for 1. That is why he said, thy thoughts are very deep.
But Psalm 92 verse 6, a brutish man knoweth not, neither doeth a fool understand this.
Yeah, a fool could never understand the ways of the Most High because they're too deep. When it's too deep, you understand? Yeah, you open not his mouth in the gates. That is Proverbs 21:7.
Yeah. I'm an next one to plug in really quick. This 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit, of the Spirit of Yahweh power, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
Son, but the Lord revealed it unto us through the Spirit. And how the Spirit works, the Spirit works here through reality. So you can't understand the Spirit when you're going against the Spirit. And it's like the Spirit come like a riptide. You understand? You gotta ride the tide. Anytime you go against it, you're drowning. And that's how the Spirit is. You can't go against the Spirit. You gotta go with the Spirit. But the Spirit is flow. You gotta flow with it. The Spirit is leading you into the direction. But then you just want to go your own way, and that's when you just get lost.
Walking the Spirit. If I may add to what you're saying, is like people saying Satan is a rogue angel. The spiritual entity Satan. Right? So there's a rogue now. Yeah, he doing his own thing, he get cast out of heaven. The whole Christian philosophy. But the Most High is so powerless that if like say a baby just get brutally killed, was the Most High powerless? You pose these questions to the foolish and the unlearned, and the brain going on short circuit. Because of
just the only things obey Israel.
God, whoever resisted is the Romans chapter 7, Romans chapter 9. Shall he think free and say to him that for me, why hast thou made me thus? So, without the understanding, knowing that the Most High letting everything ripen and destroy it forever, iniquity not going to rise back up again. It cannot. The earth, everybody had a chance to rule. From the Medo-Persian, from all the way come from the Egyptians. Coming back to the ancient Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persian rise up. Then was what? Esau and them again. Then the Greco-Roman Empire. Then they come back and rule again. So everybody had a time and to prove what they was good for. Most I say time and chance happened to them all. All nations had a time to rule and to show forth what they was good for. So you know what happened now? The only nation ever brought about any type of righteousness and balance have to rule again. Because everybody get a chance.
Daniel chapter 2 and verses 34.
Now so
Isaiah
59 or 63. 63. Lord, why thou cause us to err from thy ways? Isaiah 63. 63. My people are possessed but fall into one. We only rule for a short while with David. And David and Solomon, and after this was downhill.
Daniel 2 and verse 34. Thou sawest still that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floor. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole world.
That mountain start already. Right now that mountain building back up, but it hasn't manifested as yet. The foundation set and the bricks building up on the bricks.
The stone start was mustard seed. The stone in region. And I ain't talking about no meteorite. I'm talking about your house right. Your house right. That's right. You understand?
When
you know that's cast away.
When you know the kingdom see the partnership, he said, what the fuck is that? That's the stone.
So our next Jay goes, it's an invasion.
Yeah, so when
everybody freaking out, the elected and be rejoicing. But they know what it is.
I just bumped a talk with two men outside in the new barber shop where I want to work in the yard. I say I won't watch it happen. And a man say, "Boy, you won't watch it happen." I say, "No, man, I just have opinion. I didn't bother to carry it on because I don't understand what going on with them. I just show it just to see that."
You beat.
Yeah. Because when them lamenting, them saying, "Nah, I just need somebody to rule and you know choose." I say, in my mind, I say, already these people trying already. People try it and fail. Because they're talking about legally unfolding the lies that Esau do. Even if you could get Esau to admit what he do, Esau going to skinny teeth for you. Like a wolf back into a corner. The next thing is violence because first thing first, he just write them laws and all them kind of things to cover up the violence that he do. Right. And if you uncover what he do, he go resort back to violence. Right. And nobody ready for violence with he right now except in Yahushua. Correct. Nobody on earth cannot go up against Esau except in the Lord. That's right. If you only try, you will be sadly mistaken. All of the people who feel or they could rise up on a little mini fucking tune party. Bullshit. Fuck away with all you and all that bullshit.
So like, Esau ain't talking to nobody because there ain't no match. Esau know this place. Nobody none of them is a match. So he not talking to nobody. Right? Esau preparing for the great day of the Lord. That's the next battle that he preparing for.
And he even ready for that. The Lord say, want him that strive against him maker, like the potsherds, strive with the potsherds and the Lord, he said, I'm not coming to meet you like no man. Yeah. The technology, the Lord coming back with, it going to surpass your wherever your laser. I think they have laser technology right now, so it's going to surpass that. Alright? Other precept here. This is from the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 11 and verses 37. It says, and I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the wood, which represents Yahushua, and I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle, which represents what this last beast. Actually, the eagle represents Rome, basically Rome, and Rome revived in these times. Esau Edom, speaking to them. He said he sent a man's voice unto the eagle, to his prophets, and said, hear thou, listen, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world? You hear that? You know what? Lord showing you, Esau, is I set you up. And I come in, as it says in
Lamentation 2:17, so the Lord had exalted the horn of the heathen. The Lord set them up.
That's right. What is that, Psalm 75 or Psalm 78. Promotion coming from the Most High. He set it up one and put it down the other. And he said, if somebody could pull 2 Ezra 6 and 6, 2 Ezra 6, 6, and
Lamentations 2:17. The Lord had done that which he had devised. He had fulfilled his word. He had commanded in his days of old. He had thrown down. When he thrown down, it's when we went into captivity as slaves. Right? Not Egypt, but what? As Negroes. Right? When we were scattered across the triangular slave trade. Right? That was after Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. Right? It says, he had caused thine enemy to rejoice over thee. He had set up the horn of thine adversary. Right? So what? We became the tail and they became the head. Right?
Second Ezra chapter 6 verse 6. It says, then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and by so like I was talking about. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made by me alone.
Yes, so the Lord set up all these kingdoms. All these kingdoms that were established, it was by him. Daniel 4:17 is decreased by the demand of the watcher. This scripture says put it down one and set it up the other. Let's switch from here. Daniel 4:17. It said, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
This is Psalms 75 and 4. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and unto the wicked lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high.
Yeah, don't get too proud. I scripture say about Esau, the pride of his heart deceived him. Whereas they have plans today, they're going a head-on race, Russia and America, to weaponize peace. I not to fight Martians, alright, but I not to protect the earth from the
Alien threats.
Alien threats. That's to intercept the Lord at his return. That's what the boy thinking to do. That's why the scripture call him most proud. You trying to stop the rightful owner of this world from coming?
Yeah.
Come on.
To receive his inheritance. To receive. You trying to, first to begin, you're trying to take his inheritance. You're trying to take your woman. I'm trying to take the earth from him too.
So trying to make yourself get it. What's one of the main things they say? All the ancient civilizations was backward and it was more stupid, illiterate. This civilization here is the most intellectual. But really and truly, when you look at things that was happening back then, people back then was way more advanced than then. The thing that more advanced now is technology. You understand? And the people back then was smarter. Without them, they wouldn't have this. And you still trying to figure out how they build the pyramids. Majority of the with all the technology.
And I think they say the pyramid on a part specifically, how do you say it, like a lateral and the like yeah, is it number 258, some kind of thing so. But they say when they check it out, it's accurate with
Orion belt.
Not just with the Orion belt, but on the earth.
Certain cardinal points, so
Some kind of thing with the tree on a direct. I forget how they actually say.
It's not only tree have it.
I know it's not only tree, but
tree that is getting big up, but it's
Pyramids of Giza. Yeah, the Pyramids of Giza. That's the ones that is big up the most because there's like a tourist attraction.
Yeah, they say that
I think that's the tree that line up with Orion.
right.
Yeah.
And I said Psalm 75 and verse 5. Salakia. Lift not up your horn on high and speak not with a stiff neck.
So let me say this. If people were so stupid back then, it have this Mayan king. The man actually had
Montezuma.
not Montezuma. Not Montezuma. He had what is a water man?
The conduit, the conduit,
right.
When there's the holes in the rock.
Yeah, to go up a mountain.
Yeah.
Just to water he bad.
They don't know how they do
Take a conduit to run from a river, to run up a mountain.
just to run in his baths.
They have in Peru too. They have what they conduits now, right? They say they had to have laser cut precision, the holes in the rock to carry the water.
Like Atiwe said, so now I believe it was in pyramid. They have some holes that was drilled in the pyramids, right? And when they was saying at first they thought, if I watch movies where they should have a stick and something like a bow with a string, and they would just
spin it
back and forth to drill a hole.
Right.
So they say originally the thought was that.
It was a bad
But they say when they analyze the holes not showing as a back and forth movement, like something
Jagged.
moving back and forth. Because the back and forth would have show you a stop.
Alright.
They say the hole showing you a continual drilling.
Alright.
Like something that's drilled continuously, drill straight through.
So
they said they don't know what was they used to make them holes.
So these backward people had forward technology. So Esau alone didn't have technology because in the pyramids they had electricity, they had batteries, right?
Even the pyramid, I think it's the largest pyramid, the city pyramid, if it off level by an inch, it off plenty.
Yeah, because they will translate all the way around. Right? They say Psalm 75 and verse 6. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but power is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another.
And you think Esau is a promotion again, just to fulfill prophecy. All the cave boy guys are a little promotion.
It's most I raised you.
That is it. It's Romans 9. The most I raise you up in knowledge, I say wiser than Daniel. And what the scripture say, all wisdom coming from above. So it's a little promotion in wisdom again. This cave dweller now think that he is the best thing on it. He's the best thing after sliced bread. Than sliced bread. He's the best thing after sliced bread. When you go through his history, they could like look up the wild man of medieval times. Like Esau. And right all hairy, like a beast, groping, they could not even speak.
Back up real quick. 1 Samuel 2 verse 6, the Lord kill it, the Lord makes it alive. He bring it down to the grave and bring it up. Yahweh make it poor and make it rich. He bring it low and lift it up.
Yeah, you lift them up. Yeah. But you lift, as the brother said, Most High for this very said purpose, he raised them up. As he say in Malachi 1, they shall build. When he say you shall build, he's go ahead, do your thing.
Romans 9 and 10. What if for this purpose, blessings fitted for wrath, wrath fitted for destruction.
I have it here. Romans 9:22. It says, what if Yahweh willing to show his wrath and to make his power known?
Yeah, that was the purpose. To show his wrath and make his power known to these nations. According to Psalms 9 and 17, the nations that forget God, all the nations that forget God, or they forget that they have a power on high. What?
To make his power known, endure with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction.
And that's what Esau is. A vessel of wrath fitted for destruction. Wasted away his heat. When you talk about Joshua, when Rahab, right? When she housed the spies, what she told the spies? She told the spies that we heard of you and your God who drive the river for you to cross over and took down the kings, right? Or the Amorites, right? So the nations.
You know how far the Red Sea is from Jordan? And they heard about that?
News travel. And hey, that one thing I used to say, I remember when the coup, around the coup time, I remember when I was small, right? But the coup was in 1995. So it was past that. If I was small, and my aunt would send me, my great aunt would send me a message. She would send me to the shop. I had to go down the gully, round the hill, down the next gully to go to reach the shop. And by the time I reach the shop, if I didn't tell somebody, good morning or good evening, right? News used to travel back to, I get cut off by the time I reach home, you know. But I had no telephone. News used to travel, you know. I don't know how news used to travel, but it used to travel. Yeah?
Isaiah 66 and verse 18. For I know their works and their thoughts. For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues and they shall come and see my glory. And I will set an ensign among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations, to Tarshish, Pul, and Lud, that draw the bow, to Tubal and Javan, to the isles of far off, that have not heard my fame, neither have seen my glory, and they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles. So just like what they did back then, when they declared the Lord glory among the Gentiles, they're going to do the same thing again. They're going to say, hey, look what the Lord did unto America, unto Babylon. Yes, son, all the whole earth shall know what the Lord.
This is the book of Malachi. Malachi 1 and verse 11. It says, from the rising of the sun. So from the rising of the sun. Malachi 1 and verse 11. For from the rising of the sun, even unto the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles, and in every place incense shall be offered unto my name, and a pure offering for my name shall be great among the heathen, saith the Lord Yahweh.
Hey, he's also saying name shall be dreadful among the nations. Yes, and all nations gonna worship and serve the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That is why he said the idols shall be utterly abolished. All gods, the Lord gonna put all gods to end. All gods gonna come to end. He ain't gonna have, well, this nation worshiping their God and that nation worshiping their gods. Now, all gonna bow down and worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
That's right.
You understand? Who shall not fear thee, O God? That's what the scripture said. You understand? And they're gonna worship the Lord, the one true King, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
Why not doing that? Doing this and then submit to Hawaii.
That's why Yahushua declared this all the way in Revelation. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with you, to give every man according to his work it shall be. Because this is the time here right now. If a man don't want to hear about the Most High, fuck you. That's just the time, the digest waiters.
That's right.
If you want to hear, we here to give you the gospel of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai.
Let the filthy remain filthy still.
Can. Digest waiters. We not going and run down nobody and try and tell nobody about this and let we come together. And if you want to stay separate, do that. The Heavenly Father will come and will baptize you with the fire. That's what you go come and do. And after all you get baptized, which is cleansed, all you go come back in all the right state. In Jerusalem, you can.
1 Corinthians chapter 14 verse 38. But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. Let him be ignorant.
Done. Remain so. And that is not an ignorant speech.
Hey, the scripture saying Titus 3:10, I think. Titus 3:10 says if a man be an heretic, after the first and second admonition, hey, we try to lead a man along. If you don't want to listen, hey, we come in here diligently like Jehovah's Witness to try to force this gospel of the truth. If you don't want to hear, that is you. Bounce along.
That's right.
There's a great saying by Ibusi Ikwab. If a nigga can't get in, we moving on.
Yeah. That's how it is. It just shows you're not born of the spirit. The scripture said, the wind good, wheresoever it listed, and men perceive as not. You understand? So too is them that is born after the spirit. You understand?
Like
Because that's because you're not the spirit.
like Shannon. Like Shannon, darkness and darkness comprehended it not. That's just what going on. And the whole earth died just to show how much in darkness this place is. And the more you live here, is the more you realize. And the more I show you the truth, the more you realize how fucking worthless these people is outside here.
What Israel had searched for and had not obtained, but the election had obtained it, but the rest were blinded. rest were blinded. That's it. That's all you need to know. The rest were blinded. So you can have some that not that. That's what the Lord said. And the others in my hearing will go and smite. And that's the ones that was blinded. To the perish. That was born in vain.
Final conclusion. Revelation chapter 22 and verse 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He that is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still.
Just read that. So if it nice, read it twice. Nice, read it twice. What I'm showing you there is it have categories. It have categories. It have zones. Alright, below the plane, it have lots. That is it. It have lots. Alright, I scripture say he divided a lot unto them by line. That is in Isaiah 34 and verses 17. He divided their lot unto them by line. Everybody had a lot to fulfill. It are those who come back in these times to be mockers and scoffers. They're going to be unjust. As Isaiah, he asked the angel, he said, how long? How long they're going to be blind for? He said, till the city be wasted without inhabitants. That is how long. So some that people, as the brothers going in, they had to burn to learn. You understand? They just ain't going to get. So that's why as John did, he said what? Who had warned you? You know, bring forth the fruits that meet for repentance. And that's the elect. This is about the elect, as Apostle Paul said. We endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain the salvation. You know, so it's no hard feelings, it's just what the Lord's doing in these times.
When you reach that point where you understand that if that is what is needed for the kingdom to come in, let it be done.
So all is well go be saved.
Yeah?
In that manner.
If that had died, if that had perished, let it be done. But an uneducated person, right? A person without that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, will hear this speech and they will say we brutish, and we evil, and we wicked.
But then they go accept. They will accept. We wicked, right? We wicked for saying that. But then they go accept a God who put you in a place to burn forever.
Exactly.
That's not wicked.
Yeah.
After you're in chains of darkness, right? Going through hell on you, right? Condemned. Right, condemned. In other words, you ain't sure to make it. And you ain't make it now. You're a homosexual and a red cat, took a fork and a tail, sticking in your heart.
So this Jake here, who look at the life he living, he must still go in hell and burn forever. That be real, because he didn't accept Jesus.
Hey, and that's what you do understand. The scripture said in Luke 12, fear him that can destroy body and soul
In hell.
In hell.
That's right. And right now he in hell. He died in hell.
Because you look up the word soul, go back to the Greek word psyche, which means mind. That he mind destroyed right there. He basically brain dead, I don't know.
Yeah, he consciousness gone.
He basically brain dead. That man literally brain dead. He's not here. He body here, but he's not here.
What is here with
But
me?
being brain dead is in hell.
Your mind is
And understand, being in a coma, in an endless coma is in hell.
Plague of the plague of the heart.
You understand?
Plague of the mind.
And we had to fear the most second. God could do all things.
You're Nebuchadnezzar.
Whoa. Gone. Hebrews 10:31. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. We're not saying the Most High, he can't put people in a place to burn forever. But that is not what he said he's going to do. That is not his plan. Alright? When the scripture talks about the fire that is to come, it says, guess what? The land is going to be wasted without inhabitants, and then what? The Britons will dwell there.
That will be feeding with the sun incarnation.
Exactly.
Even Esau getting a pause at the judgment, he's going to go through that forever.
Hey,
1,000 years,
all of
and
us
then
is. So no, I'm sure Christians don't think. Now Christians say, right, that when you die, if you live a sinful life, you're going to hell, right? But yet they believe it have a judgment when everybody gonna come and get judged. So you're gonna die, go in hell, and then come back, get judged to go back in hell again. We just call it, like it was just what's the name of it? Something of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
It's a Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans too. I can't remember which one with Hades. When Zeus and them went down. Huh?
They had the line and the other place to cross.
I can't remember.
when Hades, and remember when Zeus and Poseidon went down by Hades, and basically Zeus was explaining he was explaining hell. He said, this right here now, this is Tartarus. Right. This is Tartarus, where this is basically the waiting room in hell. So probably what they believe is, like Greek mythology, they believe that they'll probably go to hell in the waiting room. And then when judgment comes them, you go to Tartarus in the waiting room, call up judgment.
That's when you talk about this one where they are in the movie when they take away what the eyes.
Yeah, like God's
right. And then they had the one who helped get back the eye. The girl now, the dead. And she was going through hell on earth, so she had no money to pay nothing. And when she had the answer now. So she was going to go in hell. You understand? So you're in hell here, you can't, you ain't have no money, you ain't have no gold.
Basically, you can buy a way to hell.
Yeah, you can buy that way, yeah, you can bribe.
When the kingdom of heaven is a people, they even know that. Them thinking that in the spiritual realm is where heaven is at. There are 3 heavens dealing with the Shemayim pertaining to the waters, different levels of realms or atmosphere, dimensions. 3rd heaven or the 4th dimension, that is where the Heavenly Father dwells. But the scripture talks about New Jerusalem coming down. Even Yahushua told them that the kingdom of power is within you. It's a people. Scripture calls them in Baruch, calls us in Baruch, is it the 5th chapter? Children of the kingdom. Even said in Luke 12:32, fear not little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. 2nd Ezra 8 also, unto you is paradise open. The time to come is prepared, the tree of life is planted, rest is allowed. That is for the nation of Israel. No nation can buy their way into that. That's right. And when you go into the parables very deep. You see the parables are Yahushua, prophecies, parable all mixed up together. There's mysteries within the Lord's parables. Like you talk about the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. That's basically going into the change of rulership. Alright, trading places, if you may, like this movie you saw with Eddie Murphy and the next guy. Trading places. The rich man went into a lower position. That's what we're talking about. When he say died and went into hell, he now went into captivity. You see, I'm tormented in these flames. The flames represented the torment that he was having in the captivity by the hands of the Israelites. Alright, where he asked for ease from Lazarus, and guess what? The scripture says to him that showed no mercy shall be shown. You gotta understand it, the kingdom of heaven belongs to Lazarus. And Lazarus in the Hebrew tongue is Eliezer, which is he who God helps. And who's the people the Most High promised to help? The nation of Israel. That is who he has hope on. And you read in Luke.
God died and went into hell, just like how James was being born, died and was born in Egypt, in hell. Same thing, so what have to do when the 1,000 years of captivity come.
That's right. So Lazarus afar off in Abraham's bosom, right? You understand? A great goal fix. Because in Numbers 23, I shall behold him, but not near. But not near. Yeah, that's right. You're gonna be standing afar off in the hills. And Lazarus is gonna be so big. Because Lazarus is Israel. So Israel is all Israel gonna be come back to the full stature. So you're gonna see Israel from afar off.
In Abraham's bosom, meaning they're coming under the promises.
Hey, and guess what? You see, you're the same. They see one of the reasons why they paved the pyramids with limestone, because about to look at the sun, it used to reflect the sunlight, so it used to look like it's shining. Now gonna be the Jerusalem in the kingdom. Jerusalem gonna be glistening.
The battlements of God. When you go into the Tobit, the 13th chapter, it goes into the details of how the kingdom will be basically. It didn't, because we always mention the streets of gold, but in Tobit it tells you about streets of all kind of different stones. You understand? So the kingdom gonna be precious. Alright, and the scripture says the kingdom shall not be left to any other people. So they ain't gonna have it, they're gonna be the ones down in the suburbs and in the ghettos. We're gonna be living it up. Alright, they don't know what it is to live it up. They're gonna learn that.
In the favelas and the slums.
Them gonna learn what it means to live it up. They don't know about Esau is a, like you see Esau with all this wealth, like if you're into construction, you see somebody, Esau having a whole set of millions of dollars, and when you look at what he built and live in, it's shit. Alright, there's some low level type of simple shit. Esau don't know about glamour and decadence. Alright, you don't know about, you know, making a place look royal. That's why the earth running in this way. You find this earth running in a royal way. What royal about this place? From the very scent, the smell of it. Right? The vibration of it. See, as Micah says, Micah 2:10, rise ye and depart is not your rest, it's polluted. Salah?
That's some pretty good.
Okay.
Wisdom of Solomon 6:1. Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth.
Learn, we have to learn. That's what's going to happen to these hidden nations. We're going to have them in class. Alright, come and learn from Jacob. They had to come flow, they shall flow unto them, Isaiah 2, to learn the laws. Come and learn from the true judges of the true kings. But it begins with us becoming wise now. That's why in Psalms 2 it talks about the next kings, and next set of kings and the next set of judges coming to learn. That is us now. We learning now. How we learning? Through going through the bad and the good and the ugly. That's how we learning. The Lord bringing we through the fire, purifying we 7 times. So that when we put in that position to rule, it's perfect judges. So you're gonna have to come and learn from us because you fuck up the place. That's what you did. You give women rights, children out of order. Alright, there's a whole sort of feminism in the world, transgenderism. Alright, you're walking, you're traveling in a maxi, you don't know who you're traveling with. There's people who change their sex so much time. You could be sitting down next to a man who changed his sex to a woman and then change it back. It's real confusion.
God. Even this movie by Esau the Shea, Esau need to be fucking destroyed by this movie Celestials I watching that. The man was a celestial, turned a human being to be a homosexual. And then when they realized Esau the judge, not Esau, Arian the judge, the immortals coming to destroy Earth because of this plant of celestial seed. So the earth gonna be destroyed. Them say, nah, but I want to against my maker. Because I have my husband and my child woman. A man said that to them. In a movie, my celestial seed, them turn against the maker.
Eternal?
Yeah.
Oh, eternal.
Yeah. Them turn against the maker to go and
but that's a weird.
Esau mentality sick, man.
Yeah, man. The Jake. You see who become the slider?
Yeah.
The Jake?
Yeah.
But the one who's really Melanie.
Yeah, the one with technology who was responsible for taking technology that was people. I say, but yeah, that right, that mentality, but
Why they couldn't put
The true slider. Why did they put it on, mate?
yeah, why they put it in there? They had to put Jake as a fucking bullet.
God.
About the show Black Mirror. Before they saw that, guys get the 2 guys. A series too?
Yeah, that's on Netflix.
Can't. Well, the movie I'm talking about here. Yeah, Black Mirror. Black Mirror. It's the movie where the 2 guys with playing the video game with the chip. With the pain in their head.
Oh, you tell me about
right.
a while back.
Them two Jakes saying now on the couch. And one of the Jakes invite the next Jake to play the game. Introduce him to it. And basically when they go into the game, both of them is male and female character. One Jake become a Chinese woman, the next Jake became a Chinese man. And in the game they fucking...
This is Isaiah chapter 4 verse 2. In that,
You will leave man. You will leave that for man?
why not?
Not me.
Why not? When they watch, years ago when I watched South Park, there was that episode where they was trying to figure out why Roman Catholic priests like boys. So all the priests and them sit down by a round table and they was having a conference why they like boys now. And one of the priests actually get bad on Facebook for fucking direct. One of the priests say Gorgozoid woman, the vagina 6 foot tall, with a sharp teeth. 6 feet tall, with a sharp teeth. No, that's how dear woman's vagina is now. It's 6 feet tall, the vagina.
No, and have razor sharp teeth.
The mouth.
So, at time now, somebody pop a picture with a leatherback turtle, mouth open. And in a leatherback turtle mouth, basically you don't want your hand to go inside. Like the teeth. But turtles don't have teeth, but the whole mouth have hooks in it now, pointed inward. So and something I say, boy, what? Man, come on, fucking man.
That probably the theology would have used to make this movie.
See that, sir? It says, Isaiah 4:2, it says, in that day shall the branch of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai be beautiful and glorious. And the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped from Israel. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy.
As a remnant, he that remain. Remnant, that is another title for the Lord's elect. That is the ones going to remain. As it says about Noah in Sirach 44 verse 17, Noah pleased the Lord, therefore he was what? He was left as a remnant. Alright, so the remnant is those that going to basically escape the judgment that is to come. The ones that are going to have the tower ultimately.
The scripture says shall be good with well with thy remnant, something like that. Roughly paraphrase it.
Isaiah 10:20, it shall return.
It shall go well with the something like that. Going on, it says, and everyone that is written among them in the living, when Yahweh Hashem Yahushai shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion.
It begins with his ministry, he's washing. He's washing it away here to the words, as it says in John 15:3. Now are ye clean to the words which I have spoken unto you? So he cleansing our minds, and then ultimately he's going to wash away these bodies when he returns.
And shall have purged away the blood of Jerusalem from the mixture by the spirit of judgment.
My brother, goodness.
By the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning.
Blessings on it.
And by the spirit of burning. So the elect gonna receive that judgment and the tutors gonna receive that burning. You understand? Because we're receiving the judgment right now. That is why the scripture see punishing us by measure. You understand? Little by little. But the others have severe killing, they're gonna receive the burning.
That is the burning. How do you know it? That is that purifying agent that coming. It's not no water coming this time. It's fire the Lord bring it via chariots and ultimately via the nukes.
Okay. Going on, go back to Wisdom of Solomon 6. He says, verse 2 says, give ear ye that rule the people and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is given to you of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and sovereignty from the highest.
He set them up. He set them up too.
You shall try your works and search out your counsels. Because being ministers, he can give you tests. You understand? To see how you can judge them by the law. He says, because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of Yahweh. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places.
The judge goes up the high ones that are on high. And the ultimate judgment described for them is to put them in chains. To bring them in, put them in chains and gather them into the pits as prisoners. You know, captivity for the elites of this world.
For my determination is to gather the nations.
The ones who didn't rule the earth in righteousness, they turn it upside down. So they say they're turning up things upside down.
Yeah,
right? The scripture talks about them basically making the law slack. Alright, they made the law slack. They didn't follow the laws of the Heavenly Father. They followed gay laws, gay rights, you know, bestiality rights, all these different rights that is wrong.
Well, I'm looking at like a lot of memes, I mean, the same side of the pain, security guard in schools. They put transgesters in our fields to teach each other They don't like that logical Esau. No?
Yeah, but the parents will do that down here.
Yeah.
You bring transgender teachers to teach sex ed. Getting trained at.
But you know what we start to? Are you man and start to talk about shit in our school already?
But watch me, I tell you frank comment. You see all them shooters who happening right now? That's telling you, that's set up.
They send them things. They send those people.
Because the first one when the guy was recording himself doing the action, I watching and said, but why is it looking fake so? Because people will say looking real. But think about the logic in it, right? You come out and you have let's call it a pump action. That pushing some force. The first person you shoot was a woman. Now, I know, according to science, every action have an equal but opposite reaction. I can see somebody hit you with a pump and you fall forward. The first one shoot, he shoot the woman bam and the woman fall forward. And then they see a man fall down behind she. So I say, what is that? Then he shoot a man by the door, pratam. He shoot one inside, through the door, through the wall, bam. When he walk inside, he need to bust our next shot, and as he walk inside, a man collapse. I say, wait now, what's just going on here, boy? I say,
I can fear to you though. You see men dropping. You never watch it movie gently. When he went out really play something and one of the things that happening before he go and think something on the wife without him.
My girl do that in one of the school shootings. One of the survivors of the school shooting the other day, she wiped the blood as her friend on her and played it.
The man feed now you are dead.
This one here is Zephaniah 3:11. In that day shall thou not be ashamed for all thy doings, wherein thou hast transgressed against me. For then will I take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain. Right? I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of Yahweh.
Afflicted and poor. See, I know thy poverty, but thou art rich.
I know the blasphemy of them that say they are Jews, but they are. Says the remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth.
Yeah, no guile was found in their mouth. Revelation, as the Lord elect, first fruits.
For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid.
Yeah, feed and lie down, and none will make them afraid. Taking me right now, we feeding. And scripture says he lay us down in green pastures. He lay me down in green pastures, bringing me before the still waters. And none is making me afraid. Right now we're making them afraid. Revelation 11, they stood up on their feet, and they that saw them were frightened. They were afraid. The Lord had not given us the spirit of fear. The Lord has roused us up. Well,
the Lord had taken away thy judgments. He had cast out thine enemies. Like the King of Israel, even Yahweh, is in the midst of thee.
In what?
In the midst of thee.
In Mark 16, it talks about God working with them. Even Gamaliel, he stood up and said, if this be of power, you can't overthrow it. So he says he's in the midst of them. This work that we're doing is power driven. By the Most High is here. Like, and it's all spiritual. Because what's the name of the house of David today? The name of the house of David today is Great Millstone. And when you go back into Great Millstone or millstones were propelled or turned by either a donkey or a man. This millstone is propelled by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
And it's great. Alright, the great millstone that grinding all doctrines, philosophies, basically Esau's kingdom to powder. I just said the Lord shall threaten. Who are we threatening? How is the Lord threatening today? To his prophets. Declaring to your end. You're going to go into captivity.
The spirit of his mouth.
Spirit of his mouth.
Says, thou shalt not see evil anymore. In that day it shall be said to Jerusalem, fear thou not.
Fear thou not. As the scripture says in Isaiah 40, speak thou comfortably, comfort ye my people. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, saying that her warfare is accomplished. Her iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received of the Lord hand double. Alright? Our punishment is already, it's up, basically. It's up. Now it's time where the Lord is going to transition these curses from off of us onto you. This is your time to drink of the cup, so we drank. And why we went through hardcore slavery. Right now, we look at people today, they don't even know their ass from the elbow. You ask them what is their nationality, it's a whole, that's a rocket science question.
Right.
Today, what is your nationality became a rocket science question to our people. Right now, destroy it.
Yeah. It's a stupid ban.
What is up?
And to Zion, let not thine hands be slack. The Lord Yahweh thy power in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. He will rejoice over thee with joy. He will rest in his love. He will joy over thee with singing. I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly.
And who's the one sorrowful? Esau Edom sorrowful? Esau Edom, you think Esau Edom, let me leave right now studying about some bill that had to collect funds to pay right now? You think them studying the kids and how they going and make sure this child go to university and what we going and eat when